She looks so
There's a motorcycle outside. Hey guys, welcome back. First of all, I want to put a disclaimer that if I keep looking up there, it's because I just saw a spider and I wasn't able to kill it, nor was I trying to, but I'm just afraid it'll come back, so I'm gonna keep looking up there just to make sure I'm safe. The first week of having the puppy, I know you guys have been waiting for puppy videos, and here they are, but so I'm gonna tell you guys how the first week was. The first week was hard. It was tough. It's literally, having a puppy is like having a newborn baby. They cry, they're very demanding, and it's a lot of work. Let's start off with the first day. When we brought her home, I immediately tried to get her on the pee pad to make sure she pees and poos, just because I hadn't, well, it was a fairly long-ish drive. I mean, it was only like 30 minutes, but I didn't know how, like, I didn't know when the last time she peed was, so I wanted to make sure that she relieved herself. So I put her on the pee pad to make sure she takes care of her business, and she wouldn't pee, she wouldn't poo, so I was like, okay. We were kind of just like passing her around. Everyone was like holding her, cuddling her, trying to make her feel comfortable. We put her on the floor so she can like walk and, you know, do something, and she literally looked like she could not walk. So I could tell that she was very unfamiliar with her surroundings. So she was really scared. So I got a little bit worried, just because I wanted her to feel comfortable with us. So I kind of just like let her do her own thing. I set up a pen, and in the pen we had a bed and a pee pad and a couple toys for her to play with, and she wasn't really like interested in the toys or the pee pad or the bed really. As the day went on, she still hadn't peed, she still hadn't pooped, and she wasn't really eating. And we were feeding her the same food that her previous owners were feeding her, and we did the same thing that they did. They said that they put the food with water. No, they said that they blended the food with water. So that's what we did, because if you opened her mouth, she literally had no teeth except her canines. So I was like, there's no way that she can eat dry food. So I blended the food with some water into like this mush, and she would not eat it. So I was starting to freak out a little bit, because she hadn't really done anything but sleep. By the end of the night, she was finally eating, and she finally peed. Oh my goodness. And it was like the biggest puddle ever for such a tiny little puppy. I know it's TMI, but I was so relieved, because she finally, you know, relieved herself, because I know she was probably holding that for a while because she was so nervous and everything was so new to her. Okay, so for the first night, we just decided to have her in the living room from the start. And so we had her pen set up, like I mentioned previously, and it had her bed, her pee pad, anything she could possibly need. And let's just say it didn't go so well. Like, she would sleep all day, which was fine. She was a puppy, so like we weren't really worried about that. We were in the living room for pretty late. We ended up leaving the living room closer to 4 in the morning, and she was still sleeping. Next thing you know, she wakes up, and she was like squealing. I guess she realized that no one was there, and it was pretty dark, and she was screaming, and I personally didn't hear it because I was sleeping, but my sister apparently was up, my mom was up, because she came into my room at like 5 in the morning, and dog in hand, and was like, I think she's hungry because she's screaming. And I'm literally half asleep, so I just get up, didn't even think about the situation. I just get up and I'm like, all right, I'll make her food. And I made her food, and then I realized, I'm like, why am I like conditioning her to eat at 5 o'clock in the morning? And then at the end of the day, she didn't even end up eating. But she was fine when we were holding her. I was still half asleep. So what I decided to do I put her back in the pen because I didn't want her to get used to like getting what she wants whenever she barks or screams or whatever. Yeah, so I went back to bed and she was squealing again because she was all by herself, and I thought she was gonna end up, you know, getting tired of it, but literally a whole hour goes by. I had not fallen asleep and she was squealing for a whole hour, no breaks in between. And I was just like, I don't know what to do at this point. Like, she's literally squealing all night. So I just got up, brought my blanket, brought my pillow, and I just went to sleep on the couch, just so at least she knows like I'm here. And she was still crying, but in the end she ended up falling asleep, and then it was fine. But she woke up again maybe around like 6 in the morning. No, she woke up again around closer to 7, and at that point I was like, you know what, whatever. I fed her and I let her do her thing. She was really, really active in the morning. Like, she was ready for the day. And that was pretty tough because I had been up since literally 5 in the morning, so it's pretty tough. I played with her a little bit until she finally fell back asleep, and I couldn't fall back asleep. So I was pretty upset that whole day. So I ended up bringing her into my room, and I set up the pen over here behind me in front of the closet. I set up her pen, and it helped tremendously because she would wake up in the night and she wasn't squealing. She would still kind of whine a little bit to get attention. It was pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but I was teaching her kind of to not, or I was kind of like letting her know that I was there, and she would fall back asleep. So she only really woke up maybe twice, so that was good. But she is always up around like 7:45 to 8 in the morning, which sucks. But as long as she sleeps all night, like, I'm fine with. And that's kind of what we've been doing. She still wakes up in the middle of the night, but she doesn't squeal anymore unless she's all by herself. But yeah, from the first day to the second day to even the third day, she changed drastically. She looked so chill. And the first day we got her, you know, even though she was scared, she seemed like a very chill puppy. And by the second day, oh my goodness, she changed drastically. Like, she was running. She was running. I repeat, she was running. Like, we could barely get her to walk on the first day, and by the second day she was running. She was chasing my sister around, which was really, really cute. She finally actually started playing with some of her toys a little bit, not a lot, but we kind of were just introducing new toys to her, and she started getting the hang of playing. She nibbled on us a little bit, but it was fine because she didn't have any teeth. But we also didn't really want to encourage her to bite on our fingers anyway. She was a lot more active for the remainder of the week, and then she actually started barking, which I don't really know why. I mean, she only barked when she was really, really active, so it was like more in the morning, like after she wakes up around like 7 in the morning, and she's like ready to play, and she starts barking kind of just to get my attention, letting me know that she wants to play. So I don't really know how to deal with that. Potty training. Ever since she got home, she kind of already had a sense of like where to pee and poop, because in her previous home they were kind of already teaching her how to pee on a pee pad, so she was getting pretty accustomed to it already. I didn't really have too many issues the first week. In my next video I'll talk to you about, you know, more updated. We definitely had a few accidents, but it wasn't like anything out of this world. Like, for the most part she knew where she had to pee and poop. The only time we would really have accidents is if she's in a different room. If she's in my room, for example, and she doesn't see the pee pad, she will find a suitable place and pee. So that's one thing we're kind of working on. I'm gonna upload another more updated video on, you know, how she's doing and how she's changed from the first week. But the first week was pretty tough. It was definitely something to get accustomed to. She does require around the clock supervision, because I have lost her in the apartment, but that's a story for another video. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this didn't deter you from getting a puppy. I hope this actually encourages you to get a puppy. Yes, it's a big responsibility, but they are so worth it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below if you guys are interested in getting a puppy, and if so, what kind. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.